Welcome back. Paul continued on his journey to Jerusalem, knowing that persecution probably awaited him in the city. Indeed, when he got to Jerusalem, after seeing James, he went to the temple with some other Jewish men. While there, some of his enemies recognized him and started a tumult about him. They grabbed him and would have stoned him to death had not the Roman garrison, coincidentally, arrived in time to deliver him from their hands. While in prison, the commander had Paul brought before the Sanhedrin to determine what charges would be levied against him. But when Paul told the Sanhedrin that he was being persecuted for believing in the resurrection of the dead, it caused such a great uproar between the Pharisees and the Sadducees, such that the commander had to remove him from the council. We pick up the account with Paul back in the prison in Acts 23, verses 11 to 22. But the following night, the Lord stood by him, that is Paul, and said, "Be of good cheer, Paul, for as you have testified for me in Jerusalem, so you must also bear witness at Rome." And when it was day, some of the Jews banded together and bound themselves under an oath, saying that they would neither eat nor drink till they had killed Paul. Now, there were more than 40 who had formed this conspiracy. They came to the chief priests and the elders and said, "We have bound ourselves under a great oath that we will not eat until we have killed Paul. Now, therefore, together with the council, suggest to the commander that he be brought down to you tomorrow, as though you were going to make further inquiries concerning him, but we are ready to kill him before he comes near." So when Paul's sister's son heard of their ambush, he went and entered the barracks and told Paul. Then Paul called one of the centurions to him and said, "Take this young man to the commander, for he has something to tell him." So he took him and brought him to the commander and said, "Paul the prisoner called me to him and asked me to bring this young man to you. He has something to say to you." Then the commander took him by the hand, went aside, and asked privately, "What is it that you have to tell me?" And he said, "The Jews have agreed to ask you to bring Paul down to the council tomorrow, as though they were going to inquire more fully about him. But do not yield to them, for more than 40 of them lie in wait for him, men who have bound themselves by an oath that they will neither eat nor drink till they have killed him. And now they are ready, waiting for the promise from you." So the commander let the young man depart and commanded him, "Tell no one that you have revealed these things to me." Note, Jesus again initiates the communication with Paul, encouraging him and affirming his ministry. What happens next, though, is a confirmation of that conversation. For Paul's nephew, again, coincidentally, just happens to be in a place to hear about the conspiracy to ambush the Romans and kill Paul. The centurion is then inclined to take Paul's nephew to the commander, and then the commander is inclined to listen to this Jewish young man, believe him, and set in motion the next step in Paul's journey, his travel towards Rome. Do you recognize how amazing that sequence of events are? The Romans totally disdained the Jews. A child was not considered to be of any consequence at all, such that probably the ones who were plotting didn't even take note of the fact that there was a young man there. But the fact that Paul actually had a nephew in Jerusalem, remember he's from Tarsus, and that this nephew just happened to be where the conspirators were speaking, that he just happened to hear it, and that he was able to get in to talk to Paul, therefore Paul, being a prisoner, having great liberty to have people come in, and then to have such respect with the centurion that he would suggest this to the centurion, and the centurion would turn around and he would take him immediately to the commander, and the commander would listen to this young Jewish kid. Just an amazing thing. Our God is a sovereign God. He turns the hearts of the kings whichever way he chooses. And he came to Paul during another troublesome time of Paul's life to encourage him and affirm his ministry, to let him know, I've got your back, Paul. Don't worry about this. And then to reveal to Paul in a miraculous way that he really does. As you pray today, remember, this isn't about you. God actually is the one who desires the relationship with you. And he is the one who has initiated the entire concept of us being able to pray. It's God who desires for us to have an intimate fellowship with him. Remember, it was Jesus who declared, "This is life eternal, that they may know you, the only true God, in Jesus Christ whom you've sent." What a special, 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 special privilege we have to have this intimate fellowship with the God of the universe, and to know that he loves us with an everlasting love. And he knows specifically, in detail, everything that's going on in my life today. He knows every single detail that's going on in your life today. He knows the number of hairs on your head. He knows what's going to happen already in this day for you. And he's got your back. As you pray today, remember it's a conversation. He wants to speak to you too. So remember to allow him time to speak as well. Take time to be silent, also in prayer. Be listening for his voice, and have a blessed day.